So this is my potato bed right here, and my cute doggy in the background. But this is my potato bed right here. A lot of it, I had somebody comment one time that it looks like blight. I'm not sure what it is, but some of the potato plants are looking kind of sad. I mean, part of it might be the weather, but I've decided that I'm going to pull them out. They've been in the ground since March the 17th, and so it's been over 90 days, and I feel like at this point whatever I got out of here is fine, and I have more growing elsewhere. So I'm just going to go ahead and harvest these potatoes and see what I get out of it. And I got my little basket ready. I'm hoping that I can fill that one, but we will see. So I'm just going to get started on this, and hopefully you enjoy seeing my harvest. Before I do get started, I do want to mention, if you have not subscribed to my channel, please remember to subscribe to the channel. And if you enjoy this video, please remember to hit the thumbs up. Thank you. So I'm just going to pull these out of the ground here. I just yanked this one out already, but just going to then dig around in the ground. But I want to, some of these will have potatoes attached to them. But let me just pull this out of the way. You can see these are the potatoes that are in the ground after I pull the plant out. Now, some of these have a little bit of green. If you're not aware, you're not supposed to eat potatoes with green on them, but I don't throw away the whole potato. I'll just cut off the green portion. I forgot what it has growing in it. I can't remember it's the name of the chemical, but in large enough quantities, it is poisonous. So I am going to cut off anything that's green. I just didn't do a very good job of covering up the potatoes. They just grew crazy, and I couldn't even figure out where the plants were. This bed was just out of control. I actually want to show you this if you haven't seen this before. All potatoes, as far as I know, don't normally produce this, but my potatoes have done this in the past. And I remember Googling, why are my potatoes growing tomatoes? Well, these things are highly toxic. This is actually the seed of the potato. I think you can plant this, but I'm not sure if you actually get a legit potato or not from it, but I know it's toxic. So I'm going to make sure that I put it somewhere where my dog can't get to it. So I'm definitely going to dispose of it properly, but it is highly toxic. So in case you haven't seen this, it happens on some potato plants that they actually produce these little things that look like tomatoes. So anyway, let me just show you the potatoes in here. Just kind of dig around. I don't think they're going to be very deep, but you never know. Oh, here's some more. And I think that's pretty much it from this plant. So that's actually pretty good of a harvest from one plant. And these are fingerlings. I actually do not buy, oh, I just found another one. I actually do not buy potatoes from like a seed store. I normally get them from like an organic market. And I think I got these at Whole Foods. Of course, they were not cheap, but I'm really happy with the amount that is from one plant. So that's a pretty good amount. And these two potatoes were, or these couple potatoes, were clearly, part of them were above ground. So the rest of these were below ground, and they're fine. But like I said, I'm going to just cut that part off. So let me move along to the next plant. And here is another plant right next to it. And more fingerling. A lot of them are attached. I don't throw away any of these little ones. And if you are not familiar with growing potatoes, if you even leave a tiny little baby potato in the ground, it will sprout next year, and you will have potatoes coming up, because I have it every year. Every year I miss some. Okay, let me not combine them together, but trying to keep them separate so you can kind of see what each one did, though that might not be possible. So I'm gonna dig a little bit more, but I kind of just wanted to show you. So I'm gonna get started pulling a bunch of these out. Potatoes are one of those things that's like at Christmas, you don't know what you're gonna get. You just pull them out and then figure out what you're gonna get later on. So it's kind of fun. And then you're digging around trying to see if there's any more, which, like I said, oh wow, there's one, like that's a deep one in there. So I'm going to show you all of these at the end. Actually, I think I'm going to just move them to my little container because then I can do a better job of digging the ground around here. I did bring a little hand trowel. I don't know where I put it right now, so I'm just going to use my hands for right now. So all these fingerlings, I bought actually 2 bags of 3 pounds. So I'll be curious to see once I weigh them how much the fingerlings produced from that 3-pound bag. And I think they were on sale for like $5 for the 2 bags. I actually am pretty happy with this. I thought I might not dig them up if I was seeing that there weren't that many in here, but I'm pretty pleased. Oh, wow. This is a purple one. It did have some purple fingerling potatoes too. Not very impressive in the size, but I acknowledge that I'm pulling these out earlier than I probably should. But that's the really good thing about potatoes too. You can harvest early and still get a crop. Maybe you would get bigger potatoes, more potatoes, but you'll still get a crop from them. Quite a bit in here. I'm actually very happy. My plan is to plant okra in this bed. If you're not an okra lover, you might not be excited at that, but I happen to love okra. And it likes really warm weather, so this would be like perfect right now because we are having ridiculously warm weather. Now, I store these potatoes. One, I'm just going to store them, in my basement in a cool place. The other is that I actually dehydrate them. The best way that I found for dehydrating, now I didn't do it on fingerling potatoes, so I don't know what I'm going to do with fingerling potatoes, but I did on regular potatoes is I sliced them like thin slices and I dehydrated them, and then I ended up using them to make like, I can't think of its name, scallop potatoes. Yep. And it was great to have thin slices that I could rehydrate. It's already getting dark. I might have to move fast because I had to come out here really late. It's so hot that I can't even stand to be out here. So I came really late and it is getting dark. You can see they're just hanging off their roots, and I do not throw away these little baby ones because I can just throw them in a pot, boil them, and make like smashed potatoes. I will come through after I got all the plants out of here, and I'll use a pitchfork to just kind of turn over the soil to make sure I got everything, or as much as I can. There's no way I'm going to get everything. There's always little potatoes. This is kind of cool to see. See? My soil here is really nice and loose, as you can see, so it's actually been really good for the potatoes. I had to come inside. It was one, too dark to even tape outside, and two, I was sweating like a crazy person. It is so hot outside, even at like almost 9 o'clock at night. But I wanted to get as many of these potatoes done as I could, or dug up as I could. I'm sure there's probably still some potatoes in the ground, and I'm going to go tomorrow in the light and try to actually find some more. I'm sure there's not going to be anything really big, but I try to get as many of them out of the ground. Like I said, if I don't pull them out of the ground, they will sprout next year. So this is actually my potato harvest part 1. I still have more in grow bags that I'm going to try to just let them go for quite a while. They don't look very well. They're not producing. Like, these plants were growing crazy. The ones in the bag, are just kind of not very tall. They're not very bushy. I don't know if anything's going to even come of them. But honestly, even if nothing comes of them, I'm so happy with the harvest that I got today. Some of these are really, really, really big potatoes. I mean, they're a really nice sized potato. So I'm actually very pleased with it. No, Laguna? I'm actually really pleased with the size of these potatoes. So if I don't get anything more, this will be good. But I suspect I'll get something, maybe not big ones, but I grew a different variety that I got, I think at like Home Depot or Walmart, called Norland Red or something. And I might have also thrown in some potatoes that were, some of them, these are potatoes are just ones from my house that were sprouting, and I threw them in the garden because I just was like, they're gonna go get wasted anyway because they were beginning to get shriveled up. So I just threw them in the garden. But the majority of these were fingerlings, and the rest were all, and I'll try to weigh these. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it, but if I am able to weigh them, I will add it in the description box. Even if it's not included in the original video, I'll try to edit later on and add, because I'm too exhausted right now from digging these. And it's not even that it's hard work, it's that it's just so hot outside. So it's really miserable to be outside in that heat. But anyway, some of these are really good. I'm going to show you, I'm going to give you another look at them. And I hope you enjoyed seeing my potato harvest. This is like the first big thing that I've harvested. I've gotten little small things, like I got a little bit of broccoli. I'm trying to think of what else I got. Gotten a couple of jalapeno peppers. I actually do need to go and do a pepper harvest. That's where I struggle with more on the peppers. They don't produce like large amounts. So if I wanted to can it, I don't really want to can 1 jar of peppers. So I'm really at a loss on what to do with the peppers until I get enough to can. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed seeing this potato harvest, and I'll give you another look at it in a second. And I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, I would ask that you please remember to give it a thumbs up and remember to subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching. So here's another look at them. They are going to be stored just like this. I might brush off any extra dirt on them, but I am not going to wash them because everything I read is that they store better in the state that you pulled them out of the ground. And you can see this is a really sizable potato. This is no joke. Like, this is a good potato. I mean, some of these are fingerlings, and so they're supposed to be really little, and that's fine. I'll probably use the fingerling ones first and keep some of these really big. The other thing I should mention is if you happen to like dig into this and damage the potato, you should eat it right away. It does not store. I mean, eventually these were all going to go bad anyway, but before that happens, I definitely will dehydrate them. So my first preference is to just keep them just like this, so I can just use whole potatoes. Because I actually was all out of potatoes. I wanted to make mashed potatoes the other day and I had nothing. I hope you enjoyed seeing my potato harvest, and I think I got a really good amount. Pleased with my harvest. Thanks.